Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat, and I am here today to do a little work on the cover for this journal, the Ode to Jane journal that I'm doing for Medieval Mirage. So I've pretty much got the journal mostly done, except I just could not figure out what I wanted to do for the cover. So this is that cover, and I showed you guys. It was one of those really extra long, because I even cut some off. Manila file folders, the bigger ones with the larger kind of gusset in the middle. And so I just cut the piece out of there after I figured out how, what size I wanted the cover to be, and then how big I wanted the pockets to be and all that. So that it has the two pockets on the inside, and then it also has a spine. So, but now I'm trying to decide what to do with it. And I think I've decided I want to collage the whole outside, and I'm also going to collage the pockets so that, once they're in here, they'll have some kind of design on them. I think the back I'll probably do more, like one solid paper or something like that. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do today. So if you guys want to hang out with me while I collage this cover, I just have some matte medium that I'm using to put on the pieces of paper, and I'm just going to tear them. And I think I'm going to do, I got this idea from Gail Augustinelli to do basically a collage page, but you're, turning it into your cover. And I've printed out a whole bunch of different doilies and things. I have some, this was from Roxy Creations by Sarah, which is Rachel's sister. And then this one's the one that's in my new Digi, the watercolor one. I have some of the French letters from Gail, and then more doilies from like either Rachel or her sister. I have some lace from Gail. So I'm just going to be using all kinds of stuff like that. So, sorry, I have frog in my throat, of course, because why wouldn't I? Seems to be my thing. And I'm not really sure if I'm going to be able to use the ruler the whole time, because once this is kind of wet and stuff, I probably will have to just hand tear it, unless I make room over here somewhere. So I hope you guys are having a good day. It's pretty nice here, which I always am happy when the sun is shining. So I'm just going to start putting these on, basically, and I'm not going to ink them. I'll ink after if I want ink on there, but right now I just want to get them on there. I have no idea how this will turn out. It may end up being not great, but we'll see. We will see. And I'll probably add, some laces and trims and things too. And I may put an image on the front of one of the ladies from Joff's Digi, or my Easter bonnet. I haven't decided because they're both the Regency era ladies. So like these. And I'm just tearing because I don't know how I want to do these. I think I'm going to just kind of tear around the edges too, because I don't want to sit here and cut all of these little spots. I might just do that like that. I don't know how I want it exactly. Hasn't been very exciting around here lately. We've just been hanging out and getting ready for birthdays and graduations and all sorts of things. So that'll be fun. It'll be fun to do my son's birthday next week. I'm excited about that. Not totally sure about the driving part, but are we ever sure about that when they first start that? It's always interesting, to say the least. I've got some air bubbles. So make sure when you're doing this, I'm trying to avoid, you know, too many brush strokes because I don't want the color to come off, but I also don't want bubbles. And you can see some of the color is kind of coming off the brown, which isn't the worst thing in the world because that will kind of give it a inked sort of a look. Yeah, I think all of us are struggling with allergies right now. It's just been a horrible spring for that. I generally don't have a ton of trouble in the spring. It's usually the fall that gets me, but for whatever reason this spring has been, well, it's been really wet here. I think that's part of it. So it just makes my allergies go nutty. Everybody else in my family, it's definitely all the grasses and stuff that they struggle with, but I usually don't have a whole lot of problem with that. I know everybody's got it. I've heard a lot of people say that they have a hard time. Oh, and thank you guys for your positive response to my watercolors. Those kind of are almost harder to do than the, you know, the other digis where I'm using like vintage images and things like that, because I don't know, those are like actual images that have been around, so they're a little bit easier to put out there, whereas the you know, the when you paint them yourself or whatever, it's a little bit harder. Okay, so I think I need to do kind of a straight tear, well, semi-straight, not really, because I want it to fit in this area right here without covering up that basket. I need to tear the top off, but I want to get this on here where I want it first. It's always tricky with digitals. That's why sometimes it's better to collage if you're going to use a wet medium with like scrapbook paper or something, because the color wants to come off unless you have a really fancy printer, which I don't. So, I mean, my Eco Tank is awesome, but it's not that fancy. Just going to basically cover this whole area up here. Down onto this again. It is going to be hot today, though. That is one thing that it is going to be. Can you close that door? Thank you. I don't want to listen to that fan. And then it's, like I was saying, I think I mentioned it already, it's going to go down like 30 degrees by Sunday. I'm like, that's going to feel great after being 95. Crazy. Exactly I want to use here. I kind of like these little, you know, little knots and things. You looking for Theron, Jules? He's in the office. She's looking for you, Theron. Yay. She's like, oh, he sat down at his computer, so I'm going to go sit on him, get warm. It's always cold, I swear. Always. Doesn't matter how hot it is, she's cold. Or acts like it anyway. Maybe she's not. Maybe she just... cover up all those other flowers. It's always interesting doing this. Well, maybe we'll use something else there instead. I I was thinking of using some of my pink scraps, let's see, so that, you know, I don't have all them hanging around forever. Use some of this lace would work. That's the problem with these rounded, you know, these kind of round edges there. Well, if this turns out to be a flop, we'll just figure something else out. It's just a file folder. That's the one thing, you know, when people say that they don't know where to begin or they're scared to start or something, which I get, because when I first started I was like, I don't know if I can do this. But really most of the items that we use are pretty easily replaced. I mean, obviously some of the like antique items and things are not, but a lot of the stuff we use, like file folders and all that. Look at all that pink that came off of that. I'll put that down here so that everything isn't pink. But yeah, a lot of it's very easily replaceable, so that is the one good thing. Or you can fix it. That's the other good thing. I think that's why I like this art form so much. It's very forgiving. Kind of like this too. This is a piece of Lorna Tailor-Made Journals wallpaper that I was going to use yesterday and didn't, but it would work on there. I'm going to take just a tiny bit off the bottom. And whatever I put on the pockets, it's going to have to be oriented the other direction. So, I mean, some things won't matter because they don't have a direction necessarily, but yeah, so that when it folds up, it's going the right way. You can see, okay, you can still see. I'll try to move when I get down to the pockets. Now we have like purple. Purple goop. Okay. Kind of want to put like a little bit of letter, invoice, or something on there. That's cool. This is Gail Gustinelli's. See, that's the blue coming off of there. Let me get. It's always the tricky part of this. Wipe off the pinky purpley colors so I'm not just adding more to it. Got some bubbles in there. A lot of times when there's bubbles, as you've probably just watched me do, I use my finger to get them out. Because it can be a bit tricky. And we don't want a bunch of bubbles. Some of it's the, like the wrinkles in the page, you know, from this page or piece underneath. Okay. Keep my wet wipe handy. I think I'll use part of this rose paper from Medieval Mirage. Had this one printed out for a few days, so I'm hoping that it won't. Some of these are just printed out today, and I think that's why they're so, I need to tear that, I forget, for the straighter edge. You know, when it's newly printed, it tends to bleed a little bit more, I think, the ink. Once it's been on for a few days, it stays a little bit better, which I probably should have planned for, but like I said, I could not make up my mind with this cover. I just was struggling. Yeah, that one seems a little bit better. Why is it wanting to wrinkle so much today? Really wants to stick to that file folder. I still got wrinkles. Okay. Wet wipe again. Stuck my fingers all in it. I'm liking the idea of this. I just don't know if I can make it look right. Okay, so I think I'm going to use some of Gail's lace here. I really love this lace of hers. I don't think I want it exactly the full size. We need to tear off the edges first. And they end up with all kinds of like brown colored stuff from this. And I'm just gonna wing it, and I'll add other things wherever it needs it. There. And then I think I will use a piece of script or something. I like this. This is Allie, the Cockney Crafters Receipts. I think she calls it Papers Past is what she calls it. I'm going to have this one going upside down. Well, it's going to look upside down right now. Let's see here. Because we have the fold up. Across here. And some more matte medium. And that. Funny how it's like pretty much straight until you go put the glue on top and then all the bubbles. What is the dealio? Did I not get any glue right here or what? My daughter just came up, so Jules has to talk to her too. She's got to talk to everybody all the time. Okay, sorry, I just can't stand it when my fingers are all looped up with that stuff. I think that's the fold. That's the fold in the original paper when it was scanned, so I keep trying to fix it and it's never going to happen because it's just part of it. So my daughter got signed up for all her classes at the university. She's going to be a busy girl. They were trying to tell her to take 17 credits, and I said, how about no? Because I've been there, and the most I could ever handle was 14. I'd rather it take her a little bit longer than kill herself and drop out or something the first year. That would be a disaster. So I don't know why they do that to them. Especially, I mean, if you're doing great and you can handle it, then the second semester you can take more, you know, and that's great. But that's just nuts. Your very first semester, you're trying to like learn where everything's at, and you know, just get in the swing of life in general. It's no wonder so many kids end up dropping out when they do that. Just too much, I think. Maybe I'm wrong, but I could never do it. I mean, I worked part-time too, but anything more than 14 is just a whole lot to me. I just think it's kind of crazy. Oh, come on. To wrinkle. I mess with it too much, I'm going to rip the paper. Okay, my hands are so sticky. It's awful. Maybe a different lace. This is a scrapbook paper. Just need like covering that whole thing if I do that. Okay, that's the bubble there. Now the tricky part, I think I'm going to have to turn it around so that I can stay kind of on this side. And I'll probably end up covering the spine with fabric or something. Put a piece of this along there though, that'll help. Yeah, I think that'll help a little bit. Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit better today. I did not watch any news yesterday. Like, I don't even want to know. It's just too much. Too much. And it's a bad day if I don't watch the news, because I always watch the news, but much to my kids' chagrin. I'm gonna wipe this spine off. I just don't want all that. Doesn't need to be there, so. All right, so what are we gonna put on this other side? I need a new piece of deli paper here. I just don't want to get that all stuck down. I'll probably use that one for something again. I save them until they're just completely destroyed, but there we go. So I'm going to use a piece of this. Oopsie. And I probably won't be linking all of these digitals below. You know, I kind of said whose is what kind of thing. It's just so many that I'll never be able to remember everybody, and I don't want to leave anybody out. So this is Medieval Mirage, this piece. That's the only thing when you're using like scraps or so many different things, it's hard to remember everybody. I forget to put it underneath. I think I must have, because it's wanting to lift. Touch that. Wipe this off again because see how purple it's getting. And that one I printed quite a few days ago, so I guess there's no validity to that idea that you can print them a while in advance and they'll work. I usually don't have quite this much trouble with bubbling, so I'm not sure what the deal is. I think I didn't put any under on that one, but it's weird. Okay, this is Gail's receipt, her front ephemera. I'll put it down here maybe, not so much. Maybe it's just across here, maybe put a piece up here. It was just looking too column-like. Oh my goodness, I keep putting my hand there and then messing that up. Okay, what else? A doily probably. We haven't used one in a minute. See, now I'm down to I don't know where to put anything. Bless you. Got to tear at the edge of my desk. Sorry you can't see this very well. I just kind of feel like the doilies are a good thing for the Regency idea. Hey Aiden, will you go tell Dad I'm doing a video? Got home early. Thank you, honey. Pushing hard to try to get some of these bubbles. I just wanted to do that so bad. Weird. Okay. I might use some of this too. I like this script. Thanks, babe. Okay. Let's use another piece of embroidery or doily, or however you want to say it. This is from my 1891 Digi. That will work. Push it down a little bit and see if that helps at all with the bubbles. I mean, I know it just kind of does that, but it's just weird to have that many. Yeah, that helps a little bit. There's still a little right here. What other things would be good? Maybe a little bit of this one. Or you know, what I could use is this. Might be a little matchy. Let's see, what else do I have over here in my bunch of scraps? Yeah, I could use another piece of this. You guys know when my husband's home. I don't know how they all stand it. All of their pager things that they wear at work do that. I think that would send me over the edge. I think I'm just going to use part of that. Like that. Yeah. no, stuck my finger in there. Pulled some of it off. I'll have to put something else on there. Like, don't touch it anywhere. No matter how difficult that is. Darn it. Put this one down here, this direction. I don't know. It's always what I struggle with when there's something rounded like that. This would work. This is a piece from the Ode to Jane digital by Medieval Mirage. She has pockets, and I printed these weird. So I keep forgetting to, for some reason some digitals are going the right direction, then other ones are portrait when they're supposed to be landscape. And sometimes I just hit print and I forget to change that. So then, you know, like half of it gets cut off, and it's great. Put that one there. It's still got a bubble right in the middle. So weird. I tried to go from the middle out and it still is doing it. I do not know what the answer is. Darn thing. Okay, I'm going to use some of this one. This is Rachel at Roxy Creations. I think I actually might have it going this way, and I'll do some other little something right there. I wonder if I can get this torn out at all. Okay, so I need something else in that little spot. So maybe some script again. I still can't believe I did that. I mean, I can, but you know, just not happy about it. Just a little bit more of this off. Yeah, I think that'll work. Okay, I'm going to have to scoot it down a little bit. And then I'll have to find something to go up at this top portion up here. I need to stop touching that because that's how I peel it off. There's a piece of this on here. And if it hangs over anywhere, I'll just trim it off. Put my little okay, and another something across there. This. About here. Problem with the file folder is it wants to peel up as much as just paper would, so that makes it a little bit difficult. Oh, I forgot to tear that edge. Well, this piece, and I'll still need a little something in here. So see, most of that's going to get covered anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Just got this little bit of script from Medieval Mirage that'll work there. Wiping this off again because it's getting all purple, pinky purple. This. Now the air conditioner is blowing, so hope you guys can hear the little amount of talking I'm doing anyway. I'm going to actually bring it over, not centered. Still. Have to wash all my tools here. Okay. So that is probably going to be about it for today, since I really can't do the other side because it's not going to be dry enough to do that. I really hope that evens out. This, you can see over on this side, it has evened out pretty nicely. This particular one is not very even. It's still tacky. Hopefully it will. It just didn't want to. And then I'll trim all around it before I do anything to the other side. But at least we have a start, and I really do like this method of, you know, collaging all over the cover like that. I think I'm going to use this little strip of these. I think I'll put right here to fix my finger boo-boo. Alright, we'll see how it comes out. If it's too wobbly, wrinkly, then I'll probably have to think of something else, but hopefully it will. Not ever had that much trouble before. Just a matter of getting that air out of there, but yeah, it's weird. Oh, see, then I messed it up again. Alright, I'm just going to stop before I destroy it entirely. Alright, so I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. Oh, I know what I need to tell you. So on Monday, the color challenge, we're going to do peach and green. So you can choose any variation of that you want. Like, you know, this lady's got more of a mint green on and peach. You can go all the way to like a hunter green and That's almost an orange really, and so is this, but yeah, so green and peach. So I think that will be a fun one. So join me for that, and we will chat again soon. Thank you so much for everything. Bye-bye.